Well, getting teens to talk about mental health is a lot harder than getting them to Snapchat or Instagram a message to their friends. Hamilton author Edie Graziani tackles mental health, addiction, and homelessness in her new novel, Breaking Faith. She joins us this morning. So Faith is the name of the main character in your story. She's got a lot going on.
She does, yes. She's got a lot going on. She's a young girl who has undergone a traumatic experience early on in her life, coupled with the fact that her family life is turbulent, and there are it's just situations that kind of escalate into a crisis, and she undergoes a personal crisis, and she ends up running away and addicted to heroin.
Mm-hmm. And living on the streets for a while.
On the streets,
and
yes.
then that slow climb back. No spoiler alerts here, but you're not only an author, you're also a teacher, and I imagine Faith is kind of an amalgam of a lot of students you probably dealt with.
Well, authors write from what they know. They write from their experience. And that being said, as a teacher, there are a lot of students that kind of stick out in your mind through your teaching journey. And I think that this is kind of an homage to them, because you kind of hope that as a teacher and an educator, that you've had the opportunity to inspire them, to make them feel good about themselves, to boost their self-esteem, and so that they can create a life for themselves that is to their full potential.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I mean, reading the book, you get a lot of empathy for all kinds, for addicts. You get a lot of empathy for people with mental illness who are struggling with family issues. And also, like, after reading this book, I will never look at a street kid again in the same way. You always think that, okay, how did they get there? You want teens to read this, and you're developing a study guide for this book.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you said that, because that was my aim in writing the book, to develop empathy and to draw the reader into the world of a runaway, to draw the reader into the world of a teen who has mental illness, because a great percentage of teens who are living on the street have mental illness. And the study guide goes hand in hand with the book, in order to introduce it and to suggest some jumping off points before reading it.
Right, and you're working with a Hamilton psychiatrist actually with this. She did a great afterword in the book as well, so you've had some help from her.
Dr. Vimla Chadasamy was kind enough to read it over. I wanted to make sure that it was authentic and that it was true to its cause. And when she read it, she had much the same reaction as you did. Yeah, it stayed with her.
Right.
And I think that if a book can achieve that, then it's done its job.
Right. How soon do you hope to get this out to students?
It's available now. It's available through the library. If they want to borrow it, just go to the library and grab it. It's available through all major retailers, on major online retailers as well.
Right.
And they can ask their teachers. Right. You can ask their teacher librarians to order it.
Right, and it's a good book. It's not just a young adult book either. I found I was very compelled reading it as
it's
an
a
adult.
read for any age group.
It's a good lot of learning in there. Right?
There is.
And actually, you can meet Edie and hear more about Breaking Faith during a book talk, and that's coming up a week Sunday at the Indigo Stony Creek on Stone Church, and Edie is going to be joined by the Hamilton psychiatrist who has helped her along with this book to talk about how pop culture can be used to get that conversation started about teen mental health. So very important. So thanks very much. I can imagine this book took a lot out of you to write it, but
it did.
It's a lot to share.
It did, but it's I'm hoping that it reaches some youth and that it'll make a difference. If it makes a difference in one child's life, then it's done its job.
Okay, it has done its job. Edie, thank you very much.